Hey folks, this is Red Rel, and today I'm bringing you another Star Wars SH Figuarts figure. Now today, it's kind of a bigger piece. This is the Elite Praetorian Guard. Very, very thick box. It's supposed to come with a lot of accessories. I'm really excited. This is the double blade version, so it's got those you can kind of see in the package. Got the two separated blades and the one large blade. This comes with a ton of accessories because it comes with the general weapons that a lot of the Mother use. So you can see at the back, it comes with quite a few pieces. So I am really excited about getting this thing open. And I'm really excited. So why don't we just get to it? We're going to jump and we're going to open and go through the accessories. So we have the accessories out. There are a lot, and I mean a lot of accessories. So we're going to begin, oh, there we go, with the kind of elongated sword whip thing. Take a look at it here. Relatively well detailed. Nothing, to be honest, nothing incredibly fancy. Just kind of, it is what it is, you know. And then we'll take a look at if I can get each one out of its package correctly. The regular sword. Pre-whip phase. I'm actually not too fond of this sword itself. Not the design. Well, it's the design of the weapon itself rather than the actual representation of the weapon. I'm not sure exactly what the blunt piece of a sword. They're going to be beaten to death. It's not necessarily going to be a offensive weapon. Maybe piercing, but not necessarily going to do anything with three circular ends, or blades, I guess you could say. Then if we got to take a look at the hands, now usually I do the hands later, but in this case I'll do the hands first, if we can get them, or in the midsection. We've got two very pliable hands. These are very rubbery, actually very soft. We've got the open arms, and we've got the fists. Again, decent alternative hands, pretty simplistic. Then we get, if we push these off to the side, we get the main set of accessories, starting with the dual blade. Very long, very Maul-esque dual blade. It has that kind of curve to it, which looks very nice. Very highly detailed. Although there's not a lot of detail to this weapon itself, we don't see it that long in the movies, at least in this position. But pretty cool. And it actually looks quite nice. Now, we take a look at, get these out, the parted blades. These, what I don't seem to understand is why they decided to go with three separate total pieces for the blade instead of just making a mechanism that locked together. Maybe this was cheaper than finding a way to do that and having them linked together properly. I'm not quite sure, but it seems like maybe they were working on it, because this piece seems to be shorter and seems to like be almost able to go in, and it would have been like, they could have done it, but it seemed like they went halfway and they said, never mind. But this is the exact same, they're basically the exact same sculpt, just halfway point there, that's just not there. Looks quite nice, I'm happy with them. Nothing necessarily revolutionary. Now let's take a look at the Praetorian Guard himself. Let's put him down. I'm gonna rotate our camera a little bit. Now, he is a beautiful figure. Don't get me wrong. He's beautiful. It is flexible, but after trying him out for a bit, moving him around, getting him situated, there's a few problems. One of them is very evident. This joint here. Very loose, comes apart, whereas we can see this joint tight, everything else. This one, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. I was moving it around, rotating it, but it seems to have come very loose, and I don't have a solution for that, and I've tried to look at it, tried to Google it. I don't have a solution for it. Otherwise, it is a remarkable figure, except for a few main flaws. these armor pieces really work nice, but they do get in the way. Though a lot of the Stormtroopers' armors operate very similarly, this one, because of the nature of these two pieces of armors being separated, you're not going to get a lot of maneuverability there. That's fine, understandable. This head, very nice articulation. Is up, down, side to side swivel. Not much, not terribly a lot side to side, although that really depends on how you have the arms placed. If you have placed further down, you could probably, get him. You could exercise him, and he would be fine. Now, this is one of 3 versions of the Elite Praetorian Guard. There are 2 other versions that are basically identical, except come with different main weapons and different head sculpts. So I want to get them, but also at the same time, after having this figure, I'm not too confident about it. Looking at the chest rotation, just one piece. There is a loose armor piece here that does help if you want to try to hide that gap. It does allow you to try to hide it, so that's nice. Arm articulation, 90 degrees. Doesn't really go much more than that, but looks good. Looks decent. Leg articulation. Now, here's where one of my other problems occurs. This skirt is very soft, and it doesn't it's almost like memory foam in a way, where if you do it, generally it'll end up loosening instead of coming back to its natural, more rounded shape. But if we want to take a look purely at the articulation here, because of that, this does not go up much naturally. You can try to push it to about this point, but that's about it. And if we try to, again, it's hard to get a full understanding of the articulation at this point, but it does have pretty decent leg articulation if we take a look here. Now, if we take a look at the foot, again, very standard trooper foot. Swivels, pretty decent. I'm not going to complain about it. So very, very, very heavy. Not bad. But again, as you can see, just from a little bit of messing around, put them back, we see that the skirt has kind of loosened up a bit more. So if you like having them in an idle position, might not be perfectly ideal. Now, I don't have anything to compare them with offhand, because really there's not much to compare them to. Because if we were to make our more obvious direct comparison to one of them that I have offhand is our First Order Trooper. If our First Order Trooper can stand. There we go. They're about the same size. I would say there's a very small difference in size and in height, but I'm not really complaining about it. I think they're pretty similar, if not the exact same. Probably they're supposed to be, so, it fits in. And that kind of glossy nature works with both the First Order Stormtrooper and the Elite Praetorian Guard. So, general thoughts, impressions of this figure. It is beautiful. It looks beautiful. It looks great on a shelf, but that loose joint is a major problem for me. And it's not one I necessarily know how to fix. That's the problem. If I knew how to fix, I'd probably be able to do that. But it just is what it is, and it just feels bad to see it. So I'm always having to sort of leave it more bent or have it more in positions where it's not going to become as apparent. Because if I have it like that, it becomes a lot more apparent the problem lies in that joint, and it looks kind of disheveled almost, where one arm is clearly longer than the other, which becomes, an issue. So you have to have them, bent or something, or some sort of issue to allow everything to look more natural and less alien. I guess not alien, but less weird or uneven. So if you like the figure and you can get one that doesn't have that loose joint, I highly recommend it. But I don't know if this is an overall quality problem that occurs with all of them, and if it does, better to go with something else then, or go with maybe a different Praetorian Guard, or even try to go for the Royal Guard because these very much emulate that feeling of the Royal Guard from The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So I'd rather go for that in that situation where you had to choose between the two. But otherwise, great figure, and I can generally recommend it. But that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. I have a ton of stuff in the pipeline, so yeah, I hope you come back and see what more is available. Have a wonderful day.